Oh, it's so good to be back in this room making videos here again. I'm so tired of making them in the basement. Now we can finally get back to the way things were a few weeks ago, with the Leafs regulation lost. Guys, we're going to do something a little different today. Yes, there is a hockey game to talk about, but today is November 11th, 2009. We call this day Remembrance Day, and that's why we wear this poppy. Lest we forget the brave men and women that put themselves in the line of fire and sacrificed their lives so that we can all live freely. And with that, I'm going to tell you a story that my grandpa likes to tell every now and then. He likes to go on trips, and part of going on trips is going through the airport. What do you got to do at the airport? You got to go through those metal detectors. Starts to walk through, beep, 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 the alarm goes off. Oh, Mr. Glynn, could you step back through and empty your coat pockets? Yes, certainly. Shh, shh. Okay, there you go. Beep, 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 alarm goes off again. The security guard looks at him with a puzzled look as to why the metal detector could still be going off. And then it occurs to my grandfather, oh, shrapnel. My grandfather was in the British Navy when a depth charge hit his boat, and he had to swim over 100 yards to shore with the shrapnel in his back, hoping that nobody shot at him. Luckily for him, there was an American medic on shore that helped him out. He enlisted himself at 17 years old. I can't even imagine what that's like. Likewise, my grandmother had to deal with the London bombings in England, and my relatives in Monteleone, Italy were actually arrested for protesting the Mussolini government. And they remind me that when I think life's getting tough, I don't know what tough is. So today, wear a poppy and never forget. And if you're upset that I haven't been talking about hockey for the last minute or so, it's because of these brave men and women that I'm even allowed to do that. But now, if you'll join me, I'll talk about the game. Leafs lose 5-2 to the Minnesota Wild, obviously in regulation, as opposed to 5-2 in overtime. This was a game showing the Jekyll and Hyde side of the Leafs, because Minnesota did open up the scoring. They made it 1-0. But rather than hang their heads, the Leafs were right back on it. Alexei Ponikarovsky scored to tie it up less than a minute later, 1-1. And they carry this momentum into the first intermission. Fans on Leafs Interactive, where I was chatting yesterday, they're going, yeah, Leafs are going to take this game. Then the Leafs start looking tired, especially on defense. Boom, 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 it's 4-1. The Leafs D really did look beaten. A big part of this is because Mike Komisarek left in the first period with injury. No, he was doing so well! But what's so frustrating about this to me is we knew Mike Komisarek was kind of in day-to-day mode heading into the game. Why was he allowed to play? I don't know if he was told to, or he thought he'd be fine, or he just told people to leave him alone because he's tough like that. But it ended up costing the Leafs. Say what you want about Garnet Exelby, but I'd rather have him on the ice for a regular shift than Mike Komisarek for 2 minutes. And with 2 minutes to go, just as the boo birds started to rain down, Phil Kessel comes in on Nick Backstrom and scores a goal scorer's goal. Of course, now it's 4-2 with about 2 minutes left in the game. And despite having a 6-on-5, which turned to a 6-on-4, which turned to a 6-on-3, the Leafs were not able to put one past Backstrom. Minnesota gave him that contract for a reason. If you want to know where the Wild things are, last night they were in the ACC. Though the Wild haven't been a very strong team this season, if you give them a 5-on-3 in the second period, they're going to capitalize. A bit of a suspect call for delay of game. The reason I say suspect is because they didn't seem to know who shot the puck, and they have no idea where the puck went. Their general assessment was here somewhere. But in the end, the Leafs lose the game 5-2. Minnesota's fifth goal coming empty net from Owen Nolan. Why you gotta play me like that, Owen? And while I was kind of bummed that the Leafs lost, I was really excited for what we did after the game. You guys are always asking me to do live shows, and I finally did one live after the game on LeafSpace.com. You would know that if you were there. We talked about a wide variety of topics like why you can't put Jason Blake on waivers, why it's ridiculous that the Leafs would get J.S. Giguère. I hate that trade rumor, and Vinny LeCavalier. But I gave my own little theory as to maybe something the Leafs could do to spark their offense. You know who should be a call-up from the Marlies? Well, Stolberg, yes, I think he'd be a very good line mate for Phil Kessel. He could get his big body in front of the net, bang away some garbage goals like he did in the preseason. That would be nice. But if your plan is to let him light it up in the AHL, I think I know who you can call up. Mike Zigomanis. Now, he's played for several NHL teams in recent years, most recently the Pittsburgh Penguins. But here's how Mike Zigomanis' season is going. Since signing a deal a couple weeks ago to join the Toronto Marlies, Mike Zigomanis has played 7 games and has potted 13 points. That's 13 all assists. And he's a +5 on a team that struggling a little bit. Let me know what you guys think of that, and let me know what you think of the Giguère rumors. Hopefully we can do another live show like that again. They got back-to-back games coming up. On Friday, they're playing Chicago in Chicago, and then they come back home on Saturday to play Calgary. My question to you is, do you start Toskala in one or both of those games?
Tosca who?
I already know how you guys feel about Toskala, so I'm interested to see your answer. Peace, guys. Don't forget to buy and wear a poppy today and give thanks to those that have given us so much.